Thank you for coming, guys. I'm Jelmer. I'm the CEO of Green Tech Technologies. We're a company specialized in building immersion solutions for heat recovery. And that's what we're going to talk to you about today, our vision and our story. A little bit about us. We have a team of veterans, energy experts, greenhouse growers. We're a well-diverse team of multiple skills that came together to set out to redefine certain industry expectations. We build immersion solutions like no one else. We take heat recovery into consideration from the start. That allows us to mine in urban areas like the Netherlands, where we have 25 cents per kilowatt, sometimes even 60 or 80 we've seen this last year. And we're still mining. Can you believe that? All these guys are going for 3 cents, 2 cents, 4 cents, and we're still here. That's good. Let me show you how. Our journey started off in 2017. We started extensive R&D to build solutions for our own greenhouse. We started off very small, just a couple tanks. We did a lot of modifications, and at a certain moment we said, we need to build our own system, because no immersion vendor back at that time could suit our needs or meet our expectations. So we started working on the first release of the Greenbox, and 2020 we had the second generation deployed at various customer locations in the Netherlands, still active. And in 2021 we launched the third generation with mass production and international expansion. So what do we offer? As I mentioned, you can start mining everywhere profitably because you can recover your heat. For a miner, the energy is the main OPEX. It's 80 to 90% of your costs. However, you're wasting also a lot of energy if you ventilate it through air. By recovering it, you can offset your energy cost on third parties. You can instantly optimize your miner performance by easy 35% by overclocking in immersion. In air cooling, this is often not possible. And you can immediately increase the ROI of your miners, get a significant discount on your capex, because you need less miners to fill 1 megawatt. And in the end, one of the most important ones, we grow a sustainable business model and help to fight climate change. Because in the end, we substitute gas boilers and provide them with Bitcoin heat. So one location can easily reduce over 2,000 tons of CO2 on a yearly basis. It's not working. In addition, our containers are being deployed next to renewable resources, and we help to balance the grid. We dynamically shift in between overclock profiles to make sure the grid stays at the right voltage, and those earnings are an energy diversification and allow for a much healthier business model. We heat greenhouses. We're working on district network heating, so that's cities, residentials, housing, breweries, and many other applications right now. We create a circular economy, cutting the CO2 I just talked about, and one of the most important ones in the ESG narrative that a lot of people are pushing, heat production creates actual jobs. A mining farm, especially an immersion farm, doesn't need that many people to manage it. But a heat user, that does. Wrong. Energy matters most in mining. It's the main OPEX. But besides the energy, there are also a couple challenges. So let's explore them. First of all, we have the infrastructure. The infrastructure is a growth bottleneck because the lead times of transformers, substations, they're huge. Easily 12, 15, 18 months. Very big one in Europe and also the US. Sustainability concerns are driving PR and could potentially be codified into law, prohibiting new sites like New York or having to shut down certain sites. In addition, we see larger energy players coming into the industry, increasing the difficulty in the hash rate, making the landscape more and more competitive. So we believe that energy optimization is the key to long-term success in the mining industry. The prices and volatility are increasing globally. You need to look for outlier opportunities to increase your ROI and reduce your costs. Supply and demand of energy are not in balance, meaning you have the possibility to engage in load balancing, stabilize the grid, help the grid with going renewable, and lower your own OPEX. A lot of people in the US are talking about an energy crisis. I often laugh a little bit when I hear it, to be honest. In Europe, as you can see with the red line, the gas and electricity prices have increased significantly. In the US, what they call a crisis, we call the good old times. We would long to go back to these times. But the problem is there's no current understanding of when this will end. The gas prices keep on being volatile, it drops, it goes up, Nord Stream explodes. No one knows what will happen. So how can miners beat the energy crisis in Europe? It's very simple. You either adapt or you die. We believe, or we choose to adapt. And by adapting, we say achieving more with less. One of the most important and crucial elements in this story is the recovering of your waste heat and monetize it. Reduce your expenses. The immersion allows for overclocking. For you that don't know what it is, overclocking basically means that you run a machine at a higher capacity than it was designed for. In air, that's not possible because it breaks down in a very short time. With immersion cooling, a lot is possible. You can actually run the miner at more than 180% of its original capacity, making sure that you maximize your hash rate and maximize your ROI, and allowing you, with the load balancing, to grow a diversified revenue stream. It's easier said than done. We are currently working on, well, let me rephrase that. Initially, we used to go to the heat user. We said, hey, we're going to build a mining farm next to your door, and we're going to help you become more sustainable and lower your costs. Now we're actually doing the other way around. We're going to the low energy sites and develop the heat user next to it. I'm a little bit short in time, I just got told, so I'm going to rush through a couple slides. With overclocking, especially dynamic overclocking, so the shifting between capacity, you can arbitrage power rates, auto-set your miner profiles on certain economic parameters based on either the spot market price of electricity or your heat value, and use machine learning to continuously optimize the whole process. The current earnings of load balancing easily exceed 250K a year, in the Netherlands at least, and in other parts of Europe too, allowing you to lower your cost. So, our solution, the Greenbox. We have to thank our engineers, our team. A lot of work was put in, a lot of R&D. Eventually, we came to the 45 feet, 1.8 megawatt Greenbox turnkey solution we can deploy easily at heat users. We have 97 recovery rate on the energy, and the power usage effectiveness is one of the lowest within the industry. So this is a nice visualization of how such a thing would look like. Well, the numbers speak for themselves. If you find a solution that's better than ours and you have data, please come to us, show it to me, we look at it, we run the numbers, and I'm sure ours is better. So this is an example of a paprika greenhouse. As I mentioned before, he saved over 2,340 tons of CO2. The miners are running at an average hash rate of 160, while their original profile is 96, and the load balancing fees have been up to €40 per megawatt. And the best, 1.3 million in gas was saved last year, just by one installation. Currently working on some very, very innovative and interesting projects in multiple areas. Smart city district heating, allowing us to supply up to 80,000 megawatt annually, 67, potentially reducing CO2 by 10,170 tons. That is very significant. And lower the cost, which is a very good benefit too. So, thank you for listening to us. If you have any questions, feel free to come to us. We also have a booth. We have Bitcoin grown veggies, best paprikas you will ever taste. Please come by, talk with our team, have a flyer, and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.